What's up, my beautiful people? Welcome back to another episode of See It Through My Eyes. I'm your host, Richie, here with the black man in black.
Yeah.
Miss Beautiful Erica.
Yeah.
And the cameraman himself.
Yeah.
Hi.
Today, we're going to be reacting to another video from the channel Tron. That's Tronn. We've been reacting to a couple of his videos, so go check out the channel. Give him some love.
Yeah.
If you haven't subscribed to our channel and given us some love, we really appreciate it. Help us as we continue to try to... Shut up, Ian! As we continue to try to grow, we are almost at 100 subscribers. So if you can help us get into that milestone and, well, helping us continue to grow, really appreciate it.
Yeah.
So please hit that like, share, download, and if you can donate to our Patreon so we can smack Ian around.
Yeah.
How dare you? You jackass.
So the title of this video is called The Nice Guy.
I know who isn't a nice guy.
Undercover misogynist. So we're only going to be reacting to parts of the video. So to check out the entirety of that video, check it out on the original channel.
Yeah.
So with that being said, yeah.
He's sweet, he's cordial, he's friendly, he actually respects women and their bodily autonomy, and is a hopeless romantic at heart. But above all of this, he's nice. I started watching the newest season of White Lotus, and there's a character in the season that kind of infuriates me. I could not for the life of me tell you his name because so many of the characters this season feel so empty. But if you are watching this season, he's a character that has a crush on Lisa. And we follow the season as he hopelessly pines after her, trying to convince her to date him and not get tangled up with the bad boy security guards who are less deserving of her attention and affection. No, he's the one who's the most deserving because he's nice to her. It really brought to mind all the other characters who fell into the nice guy trope that really bothered me. Because at the forefront, we're expected to root for this underdog and his quest in winning over the girl because he's friendly, compassionate, and nice.
We're always the good guys. In D&D, we're lawful good. In City of Heroes, we're the heroes. In Grand Theft Auto, we pay the prostitutes promptly and never hit them with a bat.
However, when you really look into it, nice guys can be just as controlling, emotionally manipulative, and misogynistic as the bad boys. They don't actually care or respect women's bodily autonomy because they consistently prioritize their own romantic gratification over the needs of the women. They're willing to lie, manipulate, and coerce women into feeling safe around them just to make them feel more affectionate towards them.
Look, there's something I need to tell you.
Oh. Yeah, okay.
I don't really know how to say this.
You say it.
Okay, here goes.
Mm-hmm.
You slept with him?
I didn't know what else to do. He had those big, sad eyes.
Sure, you had no choice.
And if that woman should give her attention and affection to another man, the nice guy will mope and be disappointed and angry that their continued loyalty and compassion was not rewarded with romanticism. These men are not altruistic in their intentions. They don't actually want to be these women's friends. Everything they do is in service of ingratiating themselves into these women's lives, wearing them down, so to speak, until they finally reward their efforts with sex or romantic relationship.
How did you get her to go out with you?
Well, she moved in across the hall.
And he started to slowly wear me down.
Mm-hmm. Like a river carves a canyon.
So in today's video, I want to give my take on this decades-long trope and break down how these characters can often be just as misogynistic and opportunistic as the players and womanizers we are so used to seeing in the media. Nice guys finish last.
Okay, so like I said, we're not going to be reacting to the entire video, but that's part the intro. So far, do you guys understand, like, kind of like what the point of the essay video is?
Yes.
So what do you guys think? What's your opinion? What's your take?
What's your thoughts?
What's your reaction?
I think you know how we watched the video like that we watched earlier about the guy who spent who spent like $1,000. I think that's a form of being a nice guy.
Yeah.
If you haven't checked that video out, it will be on our channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, it's kind of like guys who kind of they don't have that confidence to be like this, like over the top, out, loud, very, quote unquote macho alpha males. So what they do instead, they take their timidness or lack of self-esteem, and they think that that's what women want. They want the nice guy, but they confuse nice with friend, or sometimes just a pushover or a punching bag. And I think that's where the confusion happens, especially with guys who don't maybe have the best experiences or enough experience when it comes to like interacting or dating or talking to females. So they kind of take notes by their observations, but they're only doing it off their own perspectives, not truly understanding that it's more complex than just that. It's, some women are attracted to, very assertive men, and it's more of the assertiveness than the loud and the, money than the popularity and all that. It's more of the assertiveness that's what they're attracted to. I'm a man, so I want to get your perspective, Miss Female, on the channel. What's your name?
Kika.
Yeah. So what do you think?
We better get name tags in this company.
What's your name? Jesus?
Well, this is a very interesting video because I feel like that only happens like movies or shows.
You think so?
Really?
You never seen it in person? As a female? As a woman?
Not really. I've seen it like on the other side,
What do you mean? Explain.
Like, kind of like Jesus said, like in this video, they're saying like nice guys or whatever. They're not really that.
They're not really nice.
Agreed.
Popular or like, how do I say it? Like, I don't want to say not attractive, but they're more like on the geeky side, like Leonard. And he ends up getting like Penny, that beautiful.
Yeah.
Ideally, someone out of his range.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I don't really see that happening. I feel like I see.
You see ugly people with ugly people only?
No, like I see like
Just be honest.
I don't know.
I'll correct you.
Take it over. I lost my train of thought.
Well,
damn it.
Well, I'll say this. Like, I agree that you do got those like nice guys. They don't finish last. If anything, they're very more meticulous. Cause like y'all were saying, they may not have that outwardly confidence and all of that, kind of like the alphas that be loud and all this and that. So what they do is they use their strength of their they like, I can, it's kind of form of manipulation a little bit. I'll use my timidness, I'll use my shyness, I'll get close enough to them, not enough to probably like lock in, but at least just be in proximity. Because then they may, like in some cases, they like to park themselves around the girl who already has someone. That's probably this guy that's just a jerk, that's just an asshat, blah blah, and just they'll be close enough in proximity to where something happens, that that loot, that guy is like, fine, we're broken up or something. If they play their cards right, they'll be right there to go in like, hey, are you okay? I'm so sorry what happened to him. Not all guys, and they're playing this to seem all sympathetic, but in truth, they're laying out moves. They're making moves to try to get closer.
See, I don't think, and that's kind of what Tron is arguing. I don't think in these cases the guy is nice.
Exactly.
He's pretending to be nice because, in my opinion, nice guys can be assertive also.
Yeah.
I think that, like I said at the beginning, like there's that confusion that you're either nice or you're assertive, and I don't think that's true. I think you can be both. And for like these examples that he's giving, there's a difference between being nice and then there's passive or lacking self-esteem or self-respect sometimes. Because again, I think that you see in a lot of these examples on TV and media, where then the guys will twist it around later on in the season. Well, I'm tired of being nice. I'm tired of being kicked around. So instead, what do? They end up becoming assholes.
And they despise.
They don't understand that the confidence is really what attracts the women. It's not me being a asshole, me being aloof and not caring. It's not that. It's just you having that confidence within you to face, to just be yourself around women. Unless you really are a piece of shit, then yeah. And I feel like a lot of guys who are timid or have low self-esteem can comprehend that, like misunderstand it and take it as, well, in order for me to attract women, either I'm a nice guy or I'm a bad person.
You know, and I want to kind of interject here. The worst part, in especially our generation, I've seen it where people are doing multiple tactics to try to get the attention of, like, you know, men and women. In this case, for the fellas, I've heard it where the fact that there's guys who will use the concept of, quote, being a nice guy as a form of game, where it's not, you're not being nice for the sake of, you know, because you should, you know, just for the sake of, you're trying to use this route as a way to try to get, you know, the woman, have sex. You know, it's another form of game, and to me, I find that terrible. So where, you know, you got like those guys online that are being like, you know, chivalry is dead. You shouldn't be holding no door for no woman. This, and that. And it's like, I got raised around, you know, my mom and like that. That was like, you do this not necessarily just for women, but just because it's other people. Like, these acts of chivalry aren't just for women. It's just to be a nice person. But then you got bad people out here who are using it as an angle to try to get, like, you know, to women or this and that, because the road of being the, you know, standard asshole, the jerk, they see where that ends up, and they don't want to deal with at least the scrutiny of that on a grand scale. So they moved it back to, if I can play the nice guy angle, it might, you know, I can still get the role, I can still get the benefits of what an asshole would, but it's going to be hard for her to tell because I'm a nice guy. And that, again, it's manipulation, and I hate it because it's like, you're not a nice guy.
I feel like Leonard's friend is like that.
Which one?
He pretends he's nice and he's actually like a douche.
Is that the one dating the little short girl?
Yeah. Yeah. Not the Indian, the other one.
Oh, the other guy.
Yeah.
See, I don't like either one of the two characters.
Interesting.
I don't like Leonard, and I don't like whoever the hell his the guy that you're talking about, his little dumb friend.
He really acts nice, and then he's like the asshole.
He tries to be a player at the same time, and I hate it.
See, I'm glad you brought that up, because you literally took what I was gonna say, and it's a form of manipulation. Where in my, like, I've seen that with other people, where it's like you see a girl who obviously has a high self-esteem, and you're quote unquote wearing her out because you want her low self-esteem to be down here, her self-esteem to be down here. I mean, in order for you to be to match up, like, you need her to match up to your self-esteem. So you need her at her lowest in order to swoop in, lock it in, and you think that that's true love. That's up, bro. Like, if you really think like that, that's something you need to work on. Because in those type of relationships, they're not happy. They're just going to be with you because they feel they got no other choice.
And there's something else too, where it's like, in truth, they know, again, these girls, the girl has high self-esteem. Doing the usual route isn't going to work, where it's like, I can spit this much game, like, you know, I can use these pickup lines, I can just say, it's not going to work. She knows her worth. So then you're using, well, that's not work. I got to show that I can, you know, break her. Well, not really break her, but it's just, I can get her to get off that high level of self-esteem. And you're using the concept, again, of just, I'm like, I'll be good, maybe have her a little, like, walk over me and this and that. When it's true, it's like, and I feel bad because there's females who do sometimes fall for that, because the statement that usually I can tell sometimes is like, you're not like the other guys. You're not like the rest of them. And I get concerned sometimes when females say that, because I'm like, he might be putting this as a front. He very well might be like the rest of them. It's just he's a wolf in sheep's clothing. Yeah.
Doesn't she end up falling in love though with Leonard?
Yes, I guess.
Like throughout the whole show.
I think they're on and off.
Off and on, and like many times.
I never care for those four characters in particular, like those two couples, Penny and other guy, and Leonard and Penny. Wait, no, what's her name?
Amy.
The little short blonde girl.
Amy.
No, Amy's the girl that's with.
Oh crap! Yeah.
Bernadette. There you go. But before we wrap up, Kika, did you catch your train of thoughts?
No.
No.
Ask me again.
Like what you had started earlier, like what you wanted to finish.
Yeah, but ask me the question. What was your question again?
I don't know. I forgot the question. I lost my train of thought.
How is she supposed to catch her train if you forgot your train?
So what I was saying is that I feel like it's actually the other way around. But then I don't know.
Like
If
the
it makes
girl
sense.
being the nice girl, I guess. Like, do you feel that
Interesting.
like the girl has to be? I'm trying to like kind of see how I could word it. Like, the girl to be is the nice one in order to be accepted. Maybe is that what you're trying to?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it happens more in those circumstances where like the girl changes the way that she is
Oh.
or pretends or whatever, and then like I feel like the
I follow
dudes
what
are
you're
just
saying.
like
They
fuck
accommodate
it.
to that.
Yeah, they're like fuck it, you know.
Maybe
I'm
you
gonna
just
go
haven't
for it.
interacted with a lot of these
That's
fake nice guys.
that's
Yeah.
what I was thinking once I was saying it.
That's a good thing.
That's
Yeah,
what I was
that's
thinking.
great.
Like, is
Oh,
it
maybe
just
let's
me?
also get you away from the fake
That's kind
assertive
of
ones
fucked
too.
up though, because I haven't really been
But
around
the video
nice
though,
guys.
no. But the video though
Or at
is
least the
on.
ones that pretend to be.
You don't want to be around either
I
one
just been
though.
against like I've been around straight up assholes. Anyways, go on.
But
Except for you guys.
thank you, Jesus. Before we wrap up, you got anything to add?
Are you crying?
No, I have nothing to add. I think that all three of you summarized it really, really well.
Stupid nice guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Fine, well, you did a terrible job. I'm
Ian,
kidding.
you got anything to wrap up?
I said what I said about you phonies.
So, just a quick advice to anybody out there, to the guys especially. If you have just, if you lack in self-esteem and you think that the way to go about it, like getting a woman with high value, high standard, high self-esteem, is to wear them out and to pretend that you're this nice guy when in reality you're just doing it. Yeah, you're just doing it because you want to get in her pants. You got to be straightforward. Now you got to obviously work on yourself to figure out what's going on with you, but it never works. And if it does, if from some stroke of luck, like the characters off of Big Bang Theory, they're not going to be happy with you. And most likely that relationship, I'm just letting you know, in a couple years, it ain't going to last too long.
It's settling.
True love, like I do believe that there are nice guys and they can be assertive. Just like how nice guys can also be assholes. Also, assholes can be nice guys. But to pretend to be one or the other in order to manipulate somebody to do, to accept you or love you or whatever, that's not the way to go about it. So hopefully you guys,
Nice.
yeah.
Good advice.
Yeah, assholes can be nice guys.
Hey, I speak from experience, all right?
That is
I'm gonna write that down.
And again, like if you think that the quote unquote bad boy, right? That the bad boy is the one getting the girls. It's not the bad boy part. It's the confidence and the assertiveness that they have within
That's
them
what's attractive.
that attracts women, bro. Like at least the good ones, because there are psycho chicks that are out there trying to look for the criminals and the toxic dudes.
Money.
Those are the chicks you don't want. Go check out our other video if you want an example of that. But with that being said, please check out the entire video on the channel Tron. Like we said, we were only going to do parts of this video. This is the 4 from See It Through My Eyes. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Help us as we continue to grow. Like, share, and subscribe again. If you haven't subscribed once, subscribe twice. Get another mobile device and subscribe 3 times.
You know how much a mobile device costs?
I don't care. Subscribe. And tell you know what? Be a nice guy and subscribe to our channel. You're going to get all the chicks you want. Till then,
parents' YouTube account.
Hey, easy now. Easy now.
For subscriptions.
But take care. We'll talk to you guys next time. I'm Richie here with Ian, Kika, and Jesus. We'll see you soon.
Peace.
Yeah.